Pop Culture Happy Hour is a lively chat about books, movies, music, television, comics, and pretty much anything else that strikes a nerve, all on a weekly roundtable from NPR. This week on Pop Culture Happy Hour, we have a guest cast from the University of Denver discussing internet sensations that quote-unquote broke the internet. I'm Ashley Clark, a sophomore at the University of Denver majoring in chemistry and economics. So, Piper Brown, what are you studying at the university?
I am studying classical voice performance.
And Ji-Young, what are you studying?
I'm studying biochemistry.
So, Ji-Young, what do you consider breaking the internet?
Breaking the internet is when something is so popular, like an internet sensation, that nearly everyone knows about. Everyone's talking about it for a few days. It comes up in a lot of conversations, and they're always seemingly the most random videos and pictures.
Like most recently, the black and blue versus white and gold dress debate.
For those of you who don't know, the dress debate is about a picture of a dress that showed up on the internet, and some people see it as black and blue while others see it as white and gold.
Yeah, when I first saw that dress, I thought it was black and blue, but now I think it's white and gold.
This was actually the only thing that, quote unquote, broke the internet that my mom even knew about, so I think it definitely had a larger following than most internet sensations. Also, everyone I talked about was super opinionated about what color the dress was, but they also acknowledged it was a really silly thing to argue about or give attention to.
Yeah, my friend Erin said that it probably went viral because it was so easy to argue over because everyone had access to it. You just pull up a picture on your phone and you see it. Everyone has a very strong opinion about it because it's about their perception. Everyone thinks they're right. So it's easy to argue over and it's so controversial.
Yeah, my sister pointed out the fact that maybe a reason it was so popular was people like talking about the way the eye perceives color and intrigues people, and it's just a fun thing to do.
Do you all remember that Charlie Bit My Finger video from middle school?
Oh yeah, that was such a long time ago.
Oh yeah, I remember that. It actually happened to be the most viewed YouTube video in 2007.
Let's cut to the video itself for those of you who don't remember it.
Charlie. Charlie bit me. Ah! Ah! Oh! Ouch! Ouch! Ouch, Charlie! Ow! Charlie! That really hurts! No, Charlie bit me. And that really hurt, Charlie, and it's still hurting.
My friend Lily considered this the first thing that, quote unquote, broke the internet. And I think maybe that's because it came out in middle school, and that's when we all first became involved in social media and, internet sensations.
Yeah, and also along with that, it was just a very short and entertaining video. It was cute. My friend said that it was funny. I mean, I think it's funny.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, it also served as a cross-cultural connection between people. I mean, people, it makes you happy when you hear, "Ow, Charlie!" And, it just is something you can connect with other people about. You can be like, if someone hurts your finger, you can be like, "Charlie!" And then, I don't know, it's a good talking piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I have a short attention span, so when I can pay attention for something that short. I can just laugh.
Yeah.
Everyone likes to laugh.
But unlike the Charlie Bit My Finger video, some internet sensations are more serious, like the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge.
Oh yeah, that was it was a charitable cause, right, to raise money for Lou Gehrig's disease.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had to either donate $100 to the ALS Foundation or pour a bucket of cold ice water on ourselves.
Yeah, I think it ended up raising over $100 million for ALS.
Yeah, I also feel like even though it did raise a lot of money, it also wasted a lot of water. I think that 6 million gallons have actually been used for that challenge, and That's just including the number of videos shared on Facebook and YouTube. 6 million gallons of water is like the equivalent of 150,000 baths. And I take like 10 baths a year. And that like also excludes the number of the group ice bucket challenges when the fraternities and the sororities did them, and even the videos just shared on Instagram.
Yeah, I think that like wasn't the best way to go about raising money, but I think it was like very effective.
It did raise a lot of awareness.
Yeah. Right.
Let's cut to some videos of people actually doing the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge.
ALS Ice Bucket, bring it on!
Alright, here we go. That was really cold.
I think that because there were a lot of famous people that also did it, it got a lot of popularity. Like in the end, we saw Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg, and when we see the people that we like and adore do things that we're also doing, that's kind of cool. You know?
Yeah, it's a kind of breaks the barrier because we think of celebrities as like these people that you'll never see, you'll never talk to, but they're doing like the exact same things, and they're like we can relate to them on the same level.
Yeah, I think like the best part about that is that a lot of celebrities did the Ice Bucket Challenge because they wanted to be cool, but like they also did donate money, and that's kind of different from like what I got when I interviewed people, because most people I interviewed like were nominated like multiple times, but they never actually did it, and they didn't donate money either. Like the only person I talked to that actually donated money was my little brother.
Yeah, everyone I interviewed didn't do it either, and I'll admit I didn't do it.
Yeah, I didn't do it either.
Yeah, same. Everyone I interviewed was the same thing, but most of my friends, I knew a lot of them, and I think only one of them from back in high school actually donated anything, and it's just kind of sad to see that people are doing this for more of the fad than for the actual cause.
Yeah, I think people definitely liked it because it's something they could get involved in social media, and like everyone was trying to outdo each other, and they kind of lost the idea of the video.
Yeah.
So I think that it's kind of easy to lose sight when it's kind of like the telephone game, actually. You know, when you kind of lose a meaning as it's passed on
it's being
from
passed
person
on.
to person.
Yeah.
Another more serious internet sensation was Kony 2012. It was a movement started by an organization called Invisible Children to get Joseph Kony, leader of the LRA in Uganda, arrested by the end of 2012. The LRA is Lord's Resistance Army, a rebel group made up of children forced into the group. Here's a clip from Invisible Children's 2012 documentary on the event.
This has been going on for years. If that happened one night in America, it would be on the cover of Newsweek.
Everything in my heart told me to do something. And so I made him a promise.
We are also going to do everything that we can to stop them. Do you hear my words? You know what I mean? Hmm? We're going to stop them. We're going to stop them.
I made that promise to Jacob, not knowing what it would mean. But now I do. Over the past 9 years, I have fought to fulfill it. And the fight has led me here, to this movie you're watching. Because that promise is not just about Jacob or me. It's also about you. And this year, 2012, is the year that we can finally fulfill it. And if we succeed, we change the course of human history. But time is running out. To level with you, this movie expires on December 31st, 2012. And its only purpose is to stop the rebel group, the LRA, and their leader, Joseph Kony.
I definitely think someone's knowledge of Kony 2012 depended on their friends and where they went to school. Because my brother and I both went to schools that had clubs for invisible children, so we both knew a lot about the organization and like we've stayed on top of the movement. But most of the people I interviewed here on campus knew about Kony 2012, but they didn't really remember what it was about.
Yeah, I mean, my school was totally the opposite, where we didn't do much with it. One of my friends that I interviewed said that people didn't know what they were talking about. They kind of did it because it was everyone wants to help, and it's well, specifically, she said that they like to act nice, which I know is like satirical.
Yeah, it's like important to like know what's going on, even if you like can't do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
And-
It's again with that lost meaning.
Yeah. And another thing is that even though it was so huge for a long time on Facebook, people were changing like their profile pictures and that kind of stuff. It's kind of, you never hear about it anymore, and you don't like. Everyone I interviewed, they were like, yeah, we don't know what happened, like if they're still around, like if anything came of the invisible children, like what went, where did the money go, like how did it help? And this is just points out the design flaws in the invisible children's motto or their purpose, because instead of like first of all, instead of doing something, right about when it's happening, they do it, they choose a media that takes a long time to produce, and they don't get the information out for a long time.
Yeah, because isn't the aren't the facts that were presented in the video outdated?
Yeah, the LRA got out of Congo in 2006, and the movie didn't actually come out until 2012. So most people don't realize that the LRA has like been out of Congo for such a long time, and now that they're like in the border regions of like the DRC, South Sudan, and the Central African Republic.
Yeah, see, I had no idea any of that happened.
Yeah, me neither.
And I think because of that, that's why the movement wasn't that effective, is because, I mean, it was also a long video, and not everyone knew what it was about. Not everyone took time after the 30-minute video to sit down and research what was actually going on.
Yeah. And, like, I don't know, it just seemed like this lack of preparation is very common in things that break the internet. And that's probably why they're so fleeting and people don't seem to remember the entire story or video.
Yeah, I think like regardless of how important or worthy the internet sensation was, we're very selective in what we choose to remember about it.
Yeah, I agree with that. In today's society, we're just constantly being flooded with new information, and we can't keep focusing on the past because we'll fall behind. And I think that's why the things that were so popular many years ago aren't popular now, is because we're interested in the new and the present. And I remember in the Blair Dickinson and Ott text, they said that the prime function of memory is not to preserve the past, but to adapt it to enrich and manipulate the present.
Yeah, that's why we should think critically about what we view and share on the internet, so that we can enrich our social and cultural perspective on the world, which causes things that we remember to be applicable to our current time.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the take-home message here. If you limit what you talk about and share on the internet, the things you do give attention to will have more importance, and you can have a positive effect on others. Well, that wraps up this segment of Pop Culture Happy Hour. Thanks for listening, and make sure to tune in next week when we discuss rhetoric features used by the media.